This is Liz Coley, and you're back at Undercover Reading. We're reading The Captain's Kid. This is Chapter 2, Part 6, and it's much longer than the last section. This will make up for the other one being so incredibly short. So, here we go. The midday equatorial sun beat down hard on our head and shoulders as Karthik led me to a clothing shop he'd scoped out. A breeze threaded between the port buildings. Lunahabs never varied by more than 5 degrees, so I savored the overheated, humid air. The building we entered, one of the many that catered to departing travelers, didn't look like any clothing boutique on Luna. First of all, one of the walls was stacked floor to ceiling with bolts of white cloth. Samples hung on a rack, like 50 white fabric samples. Silk ray, cotton, sin leather, brocade, denim, poly, all white. That would not be the least bit flattering with my pale skin, light brown hair, and scrawny skeleton. Karthik, I began. Are you sure this is the best selection anywhere, he said. Come, check out these styles, the latest. He steered me to a series of racks displaying generic white clothes. 20 styles of trousers, 10 shorts, 6 button shirts, 4 zipped shirts, 1 generic t-shirt, short sleeves, and so on. I was lost. A sales clerk caught my bewildered expression and dashed over eagerly. Do you gentlemen need some assistance? She asked. Yes, please, I said right as Karthik answered. No thanks, I am entirely familiar with the fabricator system. Do it. Fix me, I begged. He grinned and activated a nearby wall monitor. Look here, my friend. Fabric choices and more choices. He touched a few icons, and a psychedelic quilt of patterns and colors filled the screen. Then another screen, and another. I was speechless, way over my head. Luckily, Karthik wasn't. So, we start with the basics. This is a system that works for me first. Choose a comfortable fabric for everyday trousers, and different one for formal. We will get you, I think, navy and khaki and black for everyday, something more interesting for formal. He scratched his chin. I see you in plum. I saw me in trouble. I ran my hands over the fabrics, finding it easier than I expected to narrow down to my favorites. Then for styling, I picked loose fits with pockets and useful thigh zips for everyday, tighter and cuffed for formal. I grabbed a pair of long shorts for swimming, refusing point blank to wear one of those tiny underwear thingies Karthik recommended. I didn't want Audrey to run screaming from the pool. What about length, I asked. I'm not exactly standard, and we're leaving tomorrow. They can't have an infinite variety stored in back. No problem, it is all made to order. Karthik nodded to what looked like a security scanner. After you choose, you'll be measured for fit, like she is. She? While I'd been choosing legwear, Audrey and her friend had drifted in. My vision filled with a remarkable sight of her spinning slowly in the opaque scanner tube, pale blue rays dancing over her body, measuring, bouncing, touching her with photons. I shivered. Maybe my mouth hung open, I don't know. Hey, no peeking, her friend said. She had a couple of white garments slung over one arm for ordering. You'll see these later. Audrey laughed as the laser shut off. Don't bully the guys, Sherry. The door opened, and I saw with relief, sort of, that she was wearing a bathing suit. Okay, your turn. Audrey walked over to us. My eyes burned. Last-minute shopping? She asked. Just Brandon, Karthik said. He mislaid his luggage. Which isn't saying much considering what's in there, I confessed. Karthik has appointed himself my personal stylist. I was secretly grateful, until he handed me a tight-fit, shiny V-neck. And one of these, he ordered. Trust me, it's in style. Audrey grabbed the hem. Ooh, I like it. See you guys later. She whirled away to join Sherry at the pattern selector. I held the shirt at arm's length and whispered to Karthik, Showing my skinny chest is in style? Somehow I doubt that. I put it back on the rack. Karthik picked up the hanger again. We'll go to the weight room and lift. It'll be fine. He paused. And most importantly, the girl approves. Fine, you're the expert. I still doubted. One question. What happens in 6 months when I'm growing out of all these, because of my bulging muscles? The shipboard soapbots will recycle the material. There's a smaller version of the system. I knew when I was beaten. So how do we order up my new wardrobe? Input the specs and pay, Karthik said. 10 minutes later, a bundle of clothes in a shopping bag was mine. Remarkable. The Spaceport Hotel bragged on the website that they had an indoor Olympic-sized pool. Of course on Luna we had pools, 2 meters deep, and just wide enough for a half a deckhand swim lanes. For exercise, not enjoyment. When Karthik and I entered the Natorium, what I saw was fun and mayhem. I scanned and counted. About 25 kids looked to be upper grade, about 18 middle grade like me and Karthik, and 30 or so littles. Many of them were splashing around and challenging each other to impressive feats of diving and jumping off the meter board. A few moms were dragging their littles through the water, encouraging them to kick harder. "Enjoy while you can," Karthik said. "First time I saw the swim lane on a ship was a vast disappointment. Just dump your stuff anywhere." He tossed his shirt and watchcom onto a nearby chair, then sprinted for the diving board and disappeared into the depths like a graceful human bullet. Too conscious of the xylophone ribs I was about to expose, I stripped off my shirt and dropped my watchcom into one of my slip sneaks, automatically surveying the area for Audrey and Sherry. There they were. The black-haired boy stood between them, his eyebrows so thick they touched in the middle. The shadow of stubble darkened his chin. He was laughing, one arm around Sherry's waist and the other around Audrey's. Double dang. He looked so freaking manly I felt like one of the littles. And it wasn't like the girls objected to sharing. They looked more than happy to have those hands touching their bare skin, strong hands with curling dark hair on the back. They stood there glowing, fair on one side, freckled on the other, dark in the middle. So dang beautiful it looked like an ad for a new soda. I had to turn away before I cracked a tooth, grinding them so hard. A skinny kid with Asian features and short spiky hair was sitting all alone by the side of the pool, fully clothed in denim trousers and a plain white t-shirt. Tiny feet dangled in the water, making slow circles, watching the fun from afar. Maybe he had the same luggage problem as me. I walked over and sat down. "Hey, I'm Brandon," I offered. I forgot to hold out my hand. "I'm Conlu," the kid replied in a gravelly voice. "You're the captain's kid, right?" That label was going to follow me forever. "You don't have to salute me or anything," I joked. "Oh, sorry. Was I supposed to?" A worried expression crossed Con's face. "See, I'm new and I don't know anything about what we're supposed to do. Like, I didn't even know about needing a bathing suit, and Moo took away all my nice clothes when she went up to the ship, so I'm totally out of luck for tonight. It's going to be come as you are for me." The words tumbled out on top of each other. Whoa, somebody needed a friend. "I'm a noob too," I said. "We can be clueless together." I pointed to Karthik, readying himself for another death-defying dive. "See that guy? He's my keeper." "I don't know what that means," Con said. "He keeps me out of trouble. I guess he was practically born and raised on starships, so he knows the drill. Stick with me and he can watch out for both of us." Con's face relaxed. "Okay, thanks. That's so nice of you. See, I was born on a starship too, but after that Moo stayed Earthside with me while my dad worked engineering. But now Moo's got her horticulture degree, so she's in charge of greenhouses, and I get to go. I'm so excited. How about you?" My ears paused for breath. "Yeah, I am," I said, and I realized it was true. I was ready to leave Luna, ready to leave Earth, ready to head out past the night stars to a distant planet to find out exactly what Mom had been willing to risk her life for, to give her life for. "What's his name?" Con asked. "Your keeper." "Karthik Siravolu." Con's black eyes lit up with recognition. "Of course! And his dad is the head chef and his mother works in bot maintenance." "I thought you didn't know anyone," I said. "Right, so I studied the crew profiles. Can you introduce me around? I'm kind of shy." "Shy? Sure. I only know a couple of people, but sure." I walked carefully around the wet edge of the pool toward the trio. It was slightly less awkward now that Unibrow's hands were off the girls and I could bear to watch. Ignoring the treacherous tile, however, was a mistake as my left foot slipped. I flailed to starboard to stay vertical. Disaster averted. "Hey, Audrey," I called as I approached. Her face turned alarmed and relieved in a flash. "This is Con. Con, this is Sherry, and I'm sorry I don't—" Audrey interrupted. "Brandon, you didn't get to meet Mo this morning. He's one of us." One of us. What did that mean exactly? I held out my fingers in the customary manner and Unibrow stared at them. Then he looked me up and down and focused on my forehead. He smiled ferociously. "Webb Jr. Good to meet you, Band-Aid." He poked my forehead and tears of pain tried to escape. Don't let that disgusting thing pollute the pool. Audrey grabbed his arm. Oh, Mo, stop teasing. I met his eye, and it didn't look to me like he was teasing, more like he was staking out his territory. I knew one guy like him on Luna, took up more than his share of oxygen. I, for one, was slightly breathless. Audrey kicked off a pair of transparent silicone liners from the soles of her feet. No wonder no one was slipping. Yet again, I was unequipped. Are we going to swim or what? Sherry grabbed Mo's hand and pulled him toward the water. He scooped her up in, I hate to say it, brawny arms and jumped in with her. They surfaced, splashing gobs of fast-moving water at each other, laughing their heads off. In lunar pools, you could duck out of the way, but no chance of that here. Audrey looked at me with an expectant twinkle in her eye, like I was supposed to toss her in, too. More likely we'd both crash to the ground, and I'd break something. Besides, Con was staring with sad eyes, obviously uncomfortable to be left out. It killed me, but I said, I think I'll just hang out here with Con. Audrey's coy smile flipped upside down. Fine, then. She took 3 running steps to the water and arched in, her tiny purple toenails the last to vanish. You didn't have to do that, Con said, but I really appreciate it. My busted heart eased up a little. Sometimes the right decision hurts. When they called the half-hour warning, I made my excuses to Con and retrieved my stuff. I played with the watchcom on my way up the elevator. Crew profiles, huh? Maybe I should do a little homework on people myself. People I wanted to get to know better. As the elevator rose, I tapped in Webman 5923. Device does not recognize password. Try again? Oops. Did I put in Weebaman by accident? I tried again. And again. What was wrong with this darn thing? I peered closer and got a whiff of Audrey's scent. That was freaky. Did I pick up hers by mistake? Possible. I closed my eyes, imagining her setting her password this morning, choosing a word or combination she'd remember. On the 3rd try, I hacked in. I laughed, preparing to shut it down. Now I had a great excuse to track Audrey down tonight at the dance, and maybe a miracle would occur. You have 1 new message. My thumb paused over off as the screen flashed again. You have 2 new messages. Audrey had 2 new messages already? Girls were all alike, Earth or loony, 2 seconds out of each other's company, and they had to talk about whatever had just happened. Analyze the situation. Oh, a dangerous thought hit me. No, I couldn't. But what if I accidentally pressed? And then my thumb acted before my brain could issue a stop order. And once the message was open, my eyes couldn't help focusing on it, and if my fingers scrolled back through the conversation history, it wasn't like I had any control over them, and if I accidentally saw my name, it was natural to check out the context. Oh, wow. Maybe the miracle had already occurred. That's the end of that part. Tune back in to see what happens at the dance.